numbering the troops, and those troops are numbered from 20 years old and upward, which means in the Bible the date of maturity for a person is not 18. In America you make it 18 because if they're old enough, to get shot, they're old enough to vote. Of course, sometimes they're not good enough to get shot, and sometimes they wouldn't know voting from anything. But 18 is the time. In the Bible it's 20. And they give those numbers, and the people are all numbered, and they give the number of the men of arms, about the Levites, give the whole thing there. But after that, he's told you're not to number them, because if you do, you'll brag about what you did. And David sinned after he'd gotten back on the throne, and things were all right, and he'd whipped Absalom. He numbered the people. And Joab, the commander of the army, the commander in general, told him, that's wrong. That's wrong. And David did. And he said, I'm in charge. That's an order. Befale is befale. An order is an order. Number them. And he numbers them. Now, those of you read your Bible know what happened. God gave him 3 ways to accept the punishment. And the way he accepted punishment was a plague to fall on Israel. And about the time a couple of thousand got killed, he repented and said, let it fall on me. These sheep, they haven't done anything wrong. I'm the one that's wrong. David is a great sinner, but he's a great repenter. And so he gets right, and he finds out where make the offering there on top of Mount Zion through that operation. But he was told, don't count them. The reason why he's going to brag about them. You brag how many you got. We got so many infantrymen and so many cavalrymen, and we got so many of this and so many of that, and we got so many tanks, we got so many airplanes, and we're kind of like America, And so we're big stuff, see. Got troops in 35 countries. And so we're big stuff. You're going to take the credit for it. You just lost 4 wars. 4 of them. You lost Vietnam, you lost Korea, and then you tried to get Iraq down, and when you leave Iraq, there'll be a Sharia Muslim thing as soon as you leave, and you're losing Afghanistan right now. They're killing your boys right now, and some are committing suicide. So you're not to put trust in man. Cursed is the man who trusts in man, whose heart departs from the Lord. And it's not one fought back in the Old Testament. It's not nothing with the Lord to save with many or a few. It's the one who the Lord with. So David shouldn't have done that. But he did that so he could brag about it. And, he paid for his sin. But he just couldn't resist that temptation to, show how many troops he had. Verse 28, and the multitude of people is the king's honor.